This is Science for Week 5. Write your name before we begin. So, this is all about sound. So, introductory concept. Sound is one of the properties of materials. What kind of sound do you hear? Are you, around you, which sounds loud, soft, which sounds are good to hear, which are unpleasant for you? Part 2, learning competencies. At the end of this learning packet, you should be able to discover ways to produce sound, describe the sound made by different objects, compare sounds made by different objects, relate the sound made to the force applied and the kind of vibrating object, and conclude that different objects make different sounds. Okay, let's begin with the activities. How do they make sound? The following are musical instruments. Choose which action is done for it to make sound. Write it on the blank. So the choices are by pressing, by blowing, by strumming, by tapping. Okay, we have here a drum, a trumpet, a guitar on the second page, and piano. So how is it being played? Is it by pressing, by blowing, by strumming, or by tapping? Next, what kind of sound do they make? So if you remember our music lesson, so this is somehow related to it. So this is about how they sound, the kind of sound we can hear from these different objects and different gesture, these different actions. Okay, color the circle red that corresponds to the word that describes the sound it makes. Okay, first is a fire truck siren. So how does it sound? Is it loud or soft? Is it high or low? Okay, loud, it means malakas ang tunog. Soft, mahina ang tunog. High naman, yung matinis, yung, kumbaga, if you remember yung do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, nandun sa bandang taas. And then low, it means yung do. Do, tapos pataas ng pataas yan. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Yung nasa ano siya, musical lines. If you remember that in music. Next, blowing a whistle. Does it sound loud or soft? Or and high or low? Next, playing the bass drum. Yun pa yung sa parade. This is the biggest one. Does it sound loud or soft? High or low? How about brushing of teeth? Does it sound loud or soft? High or low? And the next one is chirping a bird. Does it sound loud or soft? High or low? So you need red crayon to shade the circle. And if you're done, let's move to the questions related to what you have answered. Okay, among those given here, etong nasa taas, fire truck siren, blowing of whistle, playing the bass drum, brushing of teeth, and chirping a bird, which has the loudest sound? And then which has the softest sound? Which has the lowest sound? Yung pinakamalagom. And then which has the highest sound? Pinakamatinis! Yan. So you just write one answer for each question. And now, if you're done, let's move to the next activity, sound that it makes. Okay, the problem that we need to discover the answer by doing the steps below is, do objects make different sounds? Does force applied affect the sound it makes? Okay, what you need is a drumstick or any stick, table, glass, aluminum pot, and plastic basin. So, stick, any stick, if possible, wooden, table, so wooden din, glass, and then aluminum pot and plastic basin. Okay, so lahat naman to available sa bahay. What to do? Using a stick, tap, or beat moderately the table thrice. So, pukpok na lang. 1, 2, 3. 1, yon. And then using the same stick and the same amount of force, do it on glass. So, ano naman kaya ang sound sa glass? Ano naman kaya ang sound sa aluminum pot? And then on plastic basin. And then using the same stick, tap or beat the table and aluminum pot harder. So, if you're going to put more force, you're going to beat it harder, So, does it change yung quality ng sound? So, if you can hear the difference, now we can answer the statements below. So, what have you found out? Put a check on the correct statement. Okay, so there are 3. So, maglagay na ng check if it's true based on the activities that you have performed. Okay, the table and glass when tapped with stick make different sound. The table and glass when tapped with stick make different sound. Next, eto, i-correct ko lang to. I think this should not be included. Ito, make different sound. Next, when tapped using a stick, the aluminum pot makes a softer sound than the plastic basin. When tapped using a stick, the aluminum pot makes a softer sound than the plastic basin. And then on the third statement, when tapped or beaten harder, it makes a louder sound. When tapped or beaten harder, it makes a louder sound. Okay, abstraction. Answer this question lang, only one. What kind of sounds do objects make? How can you describe the sounds? Yon. So what are the words being used? Okay, remember this, sounds. Sound is everywhere. Sound is a form of energy. Sound may come from nature like thunderstorms, falling rain, and strong winds. So, tama nga naman, it's in the nature. Animals make sound. Oo, dogs bark, cats purr, and roosters crow. People make sound too. They talk, laugh, cry, and shout. So, everywhere, almost everything has sound. Okay. Snapping of fingers, stamping of feet, and clapping of hands produce sound. Oo. So, iba-iba lang ang quality ng sound. Objects make sound when ringing the bell, tapping the drum, strumming the guitar, blowing of trumpet and whistle, and shaking the maracas and tambourine. They all produce sound. At home, there are things that make sound like the alarm clock, television set, radio, water from the faucet, electric fan, and many more. So, madaming mga tumutunog. Sound can be described as loud and soft. Those that are too loud becomes noise and unpleasant to the ears. So, yan pala. If it's too much, if it's too loud, then it becomes unpleasant. Masakit na sa tenga. Soft music that is played is pleasant to the ears. That's why some people would love to play music habang in going to bed. So, para to put them to sleep. On the diagram shows a scale of sounds which is measured by decibel. So, ang tawag doon sa kumbaga, volume of sound is the decibel. So, the higher the decibel means the louder the sound. The range is from the object with faintest or softest sound up to extremely loud. So, from the diagram, which is the loudest, which is the softest. So, yan, may number siya. If you see itong circle na to, so may green, it starts from a green, yellow-green, yellow, yellow-orange, and then orange. So, it means, dito, habang sa may green pa, it has the softest sound, and then it reaches to the orange one, ito nang nasa pinakamalakas. So, threshold of pain. So, ibig sabihin, masakit na sa tenga. So, which one has the softest sound? Yan. So, breathing. So, paghihinga. So, yun, it has about 10 decibels. So, very soft lang. So, followed by rustling leaves, whisper. So, 30 lang siya. And then, refrigerator, yung tumutunog na machine sa may likod. Moderate rainfall, yung minsan nga nakakapa-antok kasi umuulan. Sunod, conversation, just like how I speak. So, yan. Moderate sound. So, may may 60 decibels na. And then, car, city traffic, 70. And then, followed by truck, yung medyo malakas-lakas. So, 80 decibels. And then, hair dryer, 90. Helicopter, o nga talaga pag dumadaan naririnig kahit malayo pa siya sa taas. So 100. So trombone, yung musical instrument, 110. Yung police siren, yung dumadaan sa kalsada, yung wee 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 wee. Yan. And then jet engine. Oh, ito ang nakakabingi, 130 decibels. Kaya lumalayo din yung mga yung mga ground crew when it uh, kung na siya, malapit na for takeoff. And fireworks. So, yan. So, wag masyadong malapit kasi masakit na siya sa tenga. And it might affect your ears. So, yan. So, from 0 to 140, which has the loudest sound? Among this one, it's the fireworks. And which has the softest sound? It's the breathing. Yan. Okay, sound can be described as high or low. The bass drum has a low tone while cymbals have high tone. So, boom, boom. Ito namang cymbals, yung clang, clang, yung clang. Minsan mas matinis pa. So, parang yung sa kaldero. Okay, when more force is applied, like beating the drum harder and striking the cymbals to each other harder, make louder sound. So, mas malakas ang palo, mas more force, then it will give louder sound. So, how can we hear the sound? Paano pala naririnig natin? Sounds come from vibrations. So, anong ibig sabihin ng vibrations? Invisible siya to our eyes, pero may makikita, siya, parang may mga waves. So, when an object, source of sound, vibrates, it disturbs the surrounding molecules, so may gumagalaw na hindi natin nakikita, causing them to move in waves. So parang may alon, kumaga. And then the stronger the vibration, the louder the sound. So until it reaches our ear, yung sound. That's why those that are near to us, near to our at a near distance, so it produces louder sound. But if it's far from us, the same object, we can't hardly hear it because it's far. So hindi, kumbaga, yung alon hindi na nakakarating. So that's why we can't hear it as loud as it was when it is near from the one listening. So yan. Okay, application. In your home or in your neighborhood, list down 5 that make sound or that you can hear. So anything. It can be animal, it can be object. So ano man ang naririnig mo. Then describe the sound it makes. Okay, after you listed those 5, so try to use the words loud, soft, high, low, pleasant, unpleasant to describe the sound that you listed, the source of sound. So ayan. So 2 answers, pero mas maganda sana kung choose first, loud or soft. So then write it down. High or low, then another, and write it down. And then pleasant or unpleasant, is it good to hear or not good to hear? So yun, just also include yan, pleasant or unpleasant. So I'm expecting about 2 to 3 answers under this. How do you describe the sound? So pause this part so that you can finish part 5, application, before you proceed with part 6. Wow! Congratulations for finishing this module. What have you learned? Put a check under the proper column. So, ayan. Were you able to discover ways to produce sound? Is it yes or no? Were you able to describe the sound made by different objects? Were you able to relate the sound made to the force applied and the kind of vibrating object? Were you able to compare sounds made by different objects? Kagaya nung ginawa natin activity. So, yung may glass, aluminum pot, and then plastic basin. And then number 5, conclude that different objects make different sounds. So, this is the last one, the last part of our week's module in science. Goodbye.